Have you ever wanted to read a more modern Lord of the Flies? Then look no further than Fantasticland. I read Fantasticland this year. It's popped up on a ton of lists and it came very highly recommended. It is pitched and succeeds in living up to its name of a modern day theme park Lord of the Flies. I really liked how it was told. It's told in a series of interviews and reports and letters, so you're not actually there in the moment. You're just listening to people recount their experience. And one of the things that I think Mike Bakoven did really well is he did a really good job of grabbing the unreliable teenage narrator. Every teenager he talks to cannot be trusted. But this book managed to do something that I love, and I'm sure you've noticed by now is a common theme in stuff that I love. It really explained how, in the end, it's always humans that are the real monsters. The book takes place in Florida after a massive hurricane, kind of like think Hurricane Sandy. And it hits this massive theme park in Florida, and it totally strands these kids in this theme park, all these workers who stayed behind for emergency situations to try and keep the park running and keep it protected in case of looting and rioting and natural disaster. It shows how quickly people devolve into these weird little factions and how easily it is for us to follow charismatic leaders, especially when we lack a sense of surety in ourselves. I really liked how he talked about the teenagers and how easily they were manipulated by one another, and the adults and how the adults have to be the right kind of adult. Otherwise, they're just going to get swamped by these overzealous teens in early 20s. One thing I enjoyed a lot was it didn't answer every question. And every answer you got, you weren't sure if it was real. But the story was really interesting. It was really compelling to listen to people talk through their own psychology around why they did what they did, and then watch the writer's interpretation of why they did what they did, especially when he got to the big bad guy. This book didn't need monsters to be scary. The monsters were people that were there to help who just didn't end up helping. I had a couple of people recommend this after I read Hyde. I did not really care for Hyde. I think Fantasticland was a much more compelling story. Hyde got a little weird towards the end. This book stayed consistently tense and consistently fear-inducing for me, because I think that when people are the real monster, it is infinitely scarier. So if you're looking for a modern twist on Lord of the Flies, I highly recommend Fantasticland.